What's up guys, Pop My Pigs for Life here, and today we're back with another episode of The Future of Hammond's Dream, Season 6 in Jurassic World Evolution 2. So, obviously, it has been a little bit since we've been back in this park. As you guys know, I spent pretty much the entire month of July working on the 4-year anniversary special, which, if you haven't checked it out, then be sure to do so, because I believe it turned out to be pretty awesome. So, if you guys remember last episode, we filled in a couple more gaps in the park by adding in some more African dinos, like the Scelidosaurus. We also added 2 exhibits with this interesting water feature between the enclosures. One side for the Australovenator, one of the earliest relatives of the more famous Spinosaurus, as well as both Kayentavenator and Dilophosaurus. So now, I do apologize that my voice might sound a little bit raspy. I've been using it quite a lot these past couple days, and on top of that, this morning, my allergies have been the worst they've probably been this entire summer. So, with that being said, yeah, here we are. So now, this episode, we're going to finish the park. So, one thing that we also did last episode is we got a little bit of a head start on this final guest section by adding in the Chronosaurus, as well as the Oomiee. So now, in today's episode, we're going to be adding all of the land species, as well as adding all sorts of guest buildings. So, for those of you who haven't watched the previous episode, here's the plan. Muttaburrasaurus right in here. Australovenator right in here. Easily the 2 species that I have used the most in Jurassic World Evolution 2. And here we're going to do Kayentavenator. And here we're going to do Scelidosaurus and Segisaurus. And in here we're going to use Dilophosaurus. Again, species that I have definitely used the most in my park builds. In fact, honestly, I've realized that that's a pattern in this episode, is that all the species that we are going to be adding, I have used very frequently in past park builds. So, enough talking. Let's get right into it. So to start, what I think we should do is let's add in all of the viewing attractions for the dinosaurs. Especially over here, we're really gonna need to use the remote viewing galleries. So I think right here will be a dome viewing gallery. Ooh, and honestly, I think it would be cool if we did this. Same thing with the Kayentavenators. Right there. Over here for the Muttaburrasaurus, we can do a viewing gallery. In fact, maybe we can even do one like right here. That's a tour. You know what? We're gonna make this work. Perfect. And then I think that Muttaburrasaurus Enclosure is honestly good, because there are a lot of ways we can view this, and especially if I decide to put the water closer to the viewing galleries. Yeah, that looks good. For Segisaurus and Scelidosaurus, we're gonna do log viewing gallery, and honestly, maybe we'll do the same for Dilophosaurus. One thing I might also do that'll make our lives a little bit easier, especially when it comes to Muttaburrasaurus, is I may or may not add a hatchery right here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Still get a nice, good view of the Dilophosaurus and Kayentavenator. I mean, once they're, actually over here. And then, yeah, Muttaburrasaurus in here, Australovenator. Yeah, the whole shebang. So now, one thing I think we should do before we get any dinosaurs is let's add in some guest facilities. Alright guys, so as we are adding all of our essential guest buildings, there is a couple of things that I want to talk to you guys about. First and foremost, I'm going to sound like a broken record when I say this, but I'm really sorry that it's been a while since I've uploaded. For those of you who don't know, I am going to be starting my first year of college, so because of that, the entire month of August has been spent doing all sorts of stuff to get ready for college. On top of that, I did also have a little bit of a summer cold 1 week in August. Thankfully, I'm feeling better now. In fact, this is probably the fastest that I've ever shaken off a cold, which is great. However, I'm going to be super duper honest with you guys and say that this past month I have found it incredibly difficult to find motivation to work on videos. And to be completely honest, I think that one of the reasons why I've lacked the motivation is because whenever I play Jurassic World Evolution 2 or Planet Zoo, I'm so focused on the fact that I'm making a video that I feel like I don't really get to enjoy the game as much. So because of that, I'm probably going to make a lot more of my videos time-lapse oriented. So what that means is probably 85 to 90% of my videos from now on will be in the form of a time-lapse. With Jurassic World Evolution 2 and much later Jurassic World Evolution 3, I will have a little segment at the end where I do a quick recap / showcase of what we got done. And same thing for Planet Zoo, I will also do a showcase at the end, but I'll also go over sort of the plan for each video at the start of the video, since Planet Zoo is a much more versatile game. And the park tours are pretty much going to be the same, but this will be super duper beneficial because since I'm living on campus, I don't want to disturb the other people living in my residence hall. So because of that, this should be highly beneficial for both myself and the people around me. Okay guys, so pretty much this entire area is completely configured. We've got 100% shelter coverage, restroom coverage, shopping, drink, and food amenity coverage, and I was able to add a couple more hotels. So now I did also have to do a couple of modifications over here, so that way we could get shelter coverage up to 100%. So because of that, I did have to move the Malta hotel we had over here previously, and I added in a small Jurassic Park hotel, and also had to make a couple of modifications over here, so that way we could fit another emergency shelter. So then what's great about this guest section is that I left plenty of spaces for us to add some little guest plazas. We can add in all sorts of decorations. But before we do that, I think we should take a quick break to add in a couple of dinosaurs. And I think that we're going to do Australovenator and Muttaburrasaurus. So to start, we're going to do one batch of Australovenator with the humble trait. And then I'm thinking we can do maybe 3 batches of Muttaburrasaurus, also with the humble trait. Okay, let's airlift the Australovenators. And then what do these guys need again? Okay. Forest, open space, prey, water. Okay. We could do that. Yeah, maybe we could do like another little like lake area in between the enclosures. We need to do forest. And then we will add a little bit along here. And we need goat feeder. Right there. Okay, must admit, the enclosure's a little bit on the smaller side. But hopefully they'll be okay. I remember when everyone first saw that animation, it was like the coolest thing. And now that we've got like Utahraptor and I forget, there's probably some other dinosaur. No, it's Utahraptor and Atrociraptor that use that animation, and it's like lost its like magic touch sort of. Ooh, did we get like an albino Australovenator? Ooh, that's kind of cool. Okay, so you know what? How about this? Let's get rid of a little bit of water, and let's add some forest. Perfect. Alright, so this is the albino one. Okay, this is like a dark green skin. Ooh, I love this one, actually. This is a cool skin. Like, you've got the gray, but then you've got, like, that pop of color. This has got to be my favorite one. This is close seconds. Super, super close seconds. Ooh. But I love this one. This one looks pretty cool. Also. So now, before we release the Muttaburrasaurus, we do have to add in a few rocks right along here. In fact, what I might even do is I might do a quick little bit of invisible fence going all the way to the map's edge. And then I will cover it with rocks. Lots and lots of big old rocks. And medium old rocks, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I think that's good. So now, let's release the Muttaburrasaurus. Wow, these are actually all super pretty. So they need forest. We could probably put like some forest all along like here. Maybe. Because actually, now that I think about it, we also have to take into consideration this view. Okay, that looks actually not that bad. And then for more forest, like maybe along here. Yeah, and I think that's good. And then for ground fiber, I still really love this, especially for the Muttaburrasaurus. Maybe we do like a little bit more of the like actual ground fiber in front of the viewing galleries. And that looks good. How we doing? They seem to be doing good. So now let's release the other ones. You know what? We have enough room for one more batch. And then that's it. And again, let's airlift them over here. Alright, so they all seem to be doing totally fine. So let's take a look at some of these skins. Muttaburrasaurus, I would say, definitely has some of the best skins in the game. I feel like it just fits the dinosaur. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, most of these skins look absolutely amazing. So now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to working on the guest section. And specifically, we're going to fill in all of the gaps with some path art and with some decorations. Alright guys, so as we are adding all sorts of decorations to this guest section, I just want to quickly mention that if you're enjoying this video so far, then please consider leaving a like, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel to see some more videos just like this one. Not only will it help show the channel tons of support, but it'll also help the YouTube algorithm by recommending more videos that you might like. And as always, by taking the time out of your day to just sit down and watch this video is showing a tremendous amount of support. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. So now, a couple other things that I wanted to mention in the last time lapse that I didn't have time for is that now that I'll be shifting to more time-lapse oriented videos, this should hopefully mean that my videos will become a lot shorter and a little bit more bearable to watch. This could also potentially mean that now I will have a much more determined upload schedule. I don't want to promise that last part because from what I've heard, college is an entirely different beast. So because of that, I'm hopeful that this could mean a more determined upload schedule, but just know that anything could change when it comes to my upload schedule. So now you might be wondering exactly how I'll be able to get voiceovers done if I said that I'm going to live on campus. So basically, I'm going to college in my home state of Massachusetts. Not going to specify what college that is, but basically what this means is that I will be able to go home on the weekends. So because of that, I will likely record the video part when I'm in my dorm, and I will be able to record any voiceover as well as the final segment of the video when I am home on the weekend, as well as any tour that I may need to do. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up my spiel about some of the changes that are coming to the channel. Personally, I'm really hopeful and excited about these new changes, and I am really looking forward to all of the potential that the channel will now have because of these changes. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this time-lapse. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the time-lapse, and I'll see you guys once this guest section is fully decked out. Okay guys, so here is the fully finished guest section with all of the decorations and such. So we've got little walkway with planters on either side, fountain. This is meant to be a movie theater outside. I would imagine that this is where they would play some nature documentaries about dinosaurs. Got some picnic benches over here. We've got a couple little flags. We've got another walkway, another seating area with some smaller fountains, and some more flags. So yeah, overall, this has got to be one of the best guest sections in the entire park, I must say. I really enjoy how this came out. So now, all we have left to do is add in the last of our dinosaurs. So, let's go ahead and do that. So, let's start with Kayentavenator. I'm probably not going to do an entire batch. Dilophosaurus, definitely not doing a full batch. Scelidosaurus, we're doing a lot of these guys. So, I think we're gonna do the humble trait, and we're gonna start with 2 batches. I may add in another batch later on down the line. And then we're going to do probably 1 batch of Segisaurus. Alrighty guys, so the last of our species have just been airlifted into their enclosures, and as you can see, I did decide to make a couple of minor adjustments to some of the enclosures, mostly in between the Kayentavenator and Scelidosaurus / Segisaurus enclosure. I did also make a little bit more room for the Australovenators. So now, let's take a quick moment to actually look at our dinosaurs. So we've got Kayentavenator in here. I did decide to add in a couple more, so that way they would have a couple more pack mates. So there is currently 9 individuals in here. Ooh, I like this one. Ooh, I love this one though. This one looks really cool. So now in here we've got an absolutely massive herd of Scelidosaurus. We're probably not going to take a look at all of them, but we'll take a look at a few. Ooh, I love this one. Which one's this one? Gambian Pulgrana? Ooh, that's pretty cool. Oh, I also love the blue. So then we've also got some Segisaurus in here. Now, Segisaurus, I don't think that I've used in any of my parks yet. I mean, I might have used them in a couple of my parks, but we haven't really ever gotten a good look at the Segisaurus. Ooh, I love this one. Svalbard Papurana. You got the, like, white underbelly, and then you've got the bright colors on the back. And then we also have the Dilophosaurus. There's only 4 of them. I didn't want there to be too many. I really love this one, though. So yeah, that is going to officially complete Jurassic Park Malta. So now pretty much all that we have left to do is the final tour of Jurassic Park Malta. One thing I will also have to do off camera is customize all of the amenities, but that's something I can easily do off camera. So yeah, with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video. Really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If so, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to see some more Planet Zoo and Jurassic World Evolution 2 content. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.